Welcome to part 3 of the PyGame Zero alien attack. We have set up already our actors on the screen in videos 1 and 2, and we have created the layout. And my screen's glitched, here we go. We've created the layout for them, and we've drawn them on the screen. So what we're now going to do is to actually make the rocket move. Okay, so this rocket here is going to move back and forth, and we want to use a keyboard for this because obviously it's going to be a game, and we want to use the keys on the keyboard to control this. So I'm just going to close that, and underneath the drawer we are going to write a new function. Okay, so we start off with def, and this one's going to be called move rocket. Okay, now this is getting a bit confusing because obviously the rocket fire is the actual missile, and move rocket isn't moving the missile, it's moving the ship. So we could call this move ship. Then we're going to define what we want to move, the actor, so we want to move the ship. Okay, so this is setting up a function to move the ship by declaring it in that code there. Quick if statement: if keyboard dot left, which is the left hand button on the keyboard, left hand arrow, okay, new line, ship dot x minus equals 1. Okay, so if you remember back to maths, I always remember the x is a long, okay, especially grass, wasn't it? X was across, Y was up and down, or along the corridor, up and down the stairs. So X is going to go across. So if I press left, which is obviously on this side, the keyboard on this side, the key on this side, then I wanted to take 1 away from the position of the ship and move it to there. Press the key again, take 1 away from the position of the ship and move it over to here. Okay, so this is the X position moving 1. Now I also need to move the rocket because the rocket is attached to the middle of the ship. So I'm going to go rocket fire, which is the name for the image of the missile. Rocket fire dot x also needs to move 1 position as well. So minus equals 1. Okay, and we could test that out now. We can go take this function here. I'm going to add it into the update. Okay, and this should now, each time the clock of the game updates, we should be able to move the save that. We should be able to move the rocket. So back to the terminal window, arrow key up, press enter, loads the game. Move that into the middle. So here's our ship or rocket, and here is this rocket's fire here. It's actually a missile, probably should have named it something a bit better. I'm now going to press the left hand button on the keyboard, and you can see that the rocket is moving to the left and the ship. Press right, nothing happens. Okay, but it is now moving. So let's close that, and we're going to add in the right button. Okay, so if the keyboard is left, I want it to move that way. I need to do an elif now. So elif keyboard dot right, so this is pressing the right button. And what I'm going to do this time is the opposite. So I'm going to go ship dot x, and this time I'm going to add 1. So right, and it's going to go to the right when I press the right arrow key. And then I need to do rocket underscore fire dot x plus equals 1. Okay, so let's try that one. Save it, back to the terminal, running it. So now what I should be able to do is go left, press the right key, and I can go right. Slight delay there because I'm using VNC rather than being sat in front of the Pi. So a bit of lag in the streaming of this, but there we go. Left button, press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right button, move it back the other way. Okay. Just going to close that. So the final feature then is to fire the rocket. So in order to do this, I'm going to use the spacebar. So I'm going to put an elif statement in, keyboard dot, I'm going to put space, because this is if I press the spacebar. So if the spacebar is pressed, then I'm going to use a function called animate, which basically moves the rocket, it makes it into an animation. So animate, what do I want to animate? My spelling. What do I want to animate? I want to animate the rocket fire, which is our little picture of the missile. Okay, and I want it to go to position 0, 0. Okay, so what this does is when I press the spacebar, the rocket will be animated and move up to the top here. So the rocket is going to fly up and move over to the top of the screen, or top of the window, 0, 0. Finally, what I need to do is screen.clear, so I need to clear the rocket once it's gone. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go back to our program. Right, run it. Okay. So press right, moves to the right. Press left, moves to the left. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Slight delay there because obviously, as I said, I'm streaming this, but you get the idea. Now I'm going to press the spacebar button, and this rocket missile is going to be animated and fly over here towards 0, 0. So after the count of 3, 2, 1, spacebar. Hang on a minute. 3, 2, 1, spacebar. And it closed it. Ah, right. So the name pos is not defined. Right, slight error there. What have we done? Ah, that should have been an equals. There we go. Let's try it again. So stop that, save it, going back. Let's move it over to the right hand side. And we'll go for a countdown of 3, 2, 1. Pressing the spacebar, and there goes the rocket. So you can just see it there, 0, 0. It's reached the corner, and it's there. So we have a game now coming together. In video number 4, we are going to get the alien to move across the screen, and then what we need to do is program the commands to ensure that the alien responds if we hit it with the missile. So don't forget to check back video 4 for the next part of the game.